And welcome back to another edition of Running with James. We're excited to be here with you. First of all, in the house, Lauren Inman. She's here, ready to kill it.
Killing the game.
She's single and she's ready to mingle.
With anxiety.
Yeah. Okay. That's not how you lead to get
Single and she got
people.
some baggage.
There you go. Yeah. She's about to go on a trip.
True.
And you know she's gonna be shacking up with some dude while we're in England. So
Technically,
that a hostel?
technically that's not
You
false.
gonna be in a hostel?
I'm gonna be in a
some guy's
spare
house,
room.
some just
of a
rando
person's
dude
house.
slid into her DMs and she's
No,
like, "Hey,
he
can I
didn't-
stay at your crib?"
He didn't slide in. I just said it was
He's like,
official.
"Hey, I saw
it was
you were
official.
heading to United Kingdom, Manchester. I
No.
live in Manchester. Would you like to stay at my house?" She was like, "But of course."
I did it just like that too.
And she asked discount if you send a photo of the feet.
Yeah. There you go. That's what it was.
Dang, I should have tried that.
Should have. So
I missed an opportunity.
Apparently, Airbnb is taking a whole nother. They like
There's
have
a
an
back end.
OnlyFans, like,
There's a back.
transition,
There's a
so.
back end half to Airbnb,
And then we also have Rocky
and that's all.
is back in the house.
Oh, I'm bleeping that out.
And
you called me RockDog last week.
This fool just got through giving me a hard time because I turned the sound up when I couldn't hear myself in the microphone last week, and giving me a hard time
When he abandoned us.
when this freaking yahoo freaking abandoned us.
And
not only did he abandon us, but he abandoned us at the last flipping minute.
And can I just say something to you? The amount of stress that me and Leah, because he had to teach, so he just had to deal with his own thing. But me and Leah, the amount of stress we were going under just to try to get everything set up.
Bro, if you had been in this building when Leah was here, I don't even know, bro. If you'd have, like been able to leave out.
You
That
might have
chick was-
found your
that chick was-
tires flat.
Salty.
She was very salty.
She was hot.
She was
under
not
the
happy.
Color. Her hair, like when I first met Leah, her hair was this beautiful, like red color or whatever, and it's still in there. But years of coloring it, and you know,
Stress.
And
children and me living with me, right? So she colors it blonde. I asked her to go red the other day. It was turning red again.
The fire.
The fire was
The
coming
fire
out
was
of her
coming
so
through.
much that the hair was turning back to red.
Yeah, you did that.
You're welcome. I don't know what to say.
No, not you're welcome.
That's a
This-
fiery
dude,
Leah. Fiery
I mean,
Leah is another Leah.
And he's gonna give me. You have the audacity,
Hell,
the unmitigated gall.
I mean, I was gonna suggest that we replace him with our special guest.
No, we're not even gonna. Don't even get me started. Oh my God, these people. Oh Jesus, help me. How you doing, Rocky?
I'm doing great. Back from exile. It's good, you know.
Exile.
Yeah. Well, I was on a wedding.
Yeah, I don't think you can call it exile when you remove yourself
Yeah, when
from a
you
situation.
leave
Oh,
on
y'all
your own
fired
accord?
me, apparently.
You removed yourself and left us hanging.
Oh man, I should have made you like some kind of burpees.
What do y'all
back
think
in
I come here 45 minutes before the podcast? I set up.
Thank you, we appreciate
I come in and I
that.
set up and I do my Dougie.
Just Juggy.
What? I didn't. There was stuff set up. Are you talking about today?
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
time.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm usually here like an hour early.
Okay. Whatever. Well, I appreciate that. You're the producer, bro.
Yeah, I know.
That's your job.
Felt good.
That's your one job. Most producers don't even get like co-star, like co-host, like billing. You do.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, didn't you start on another podcast and you were the producer? And like every now and then they'd say, "Hey,
You want to talk today?
there's Rocky. Would you like to put in one or two words?"
Yeah, right. I don't even.
But
talk
what
to
did
that
we
one.
do? We opened our hearts. We opened the home. We put you under, or James put you under his wing.
You got both of us underneath your wing.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Well, you're mostly here. I'm kind of like over here on the end of the wing.
Well, it's just kind of cockeyed because Lauren's so much taller than me, right?
It's
So since she's 5'12" or something like that, I don't know.
5'12".
Yeah, were you gonna say 6 feet? Yeah, that was the point, Lauren.
I know.
So anyway, welcome back to another edition of Running with James. It's good to have Rocky back in the house. It's good to have Lauren in the house, and it's good to have you in the house. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. There's so many places you could go. You could on YouTube. There's so many different things to watch, and on podcasts, there's so many different podcasts that are out there to listen to. I know because I get emails every single day about people wanting to be on the podcast.
You don't email them to me.
Huh?
I don't hear about them.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Okay.
Because I don't want them on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
But the point is
Okay.
that you could listen to anybody, but you chose to listen to us. And so we
Yes.
thank you for that. In fact, kudos to the two of you. I was at a store the other day, and I walked in, and my wife was there with me, and we had just finished eating lunch, and she's like, "Hey, I want to pop in here real quick." And I was like, "I'm just going to go home." And she's like, "Okay, fine," because we drove separate cars.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, that's code for I better walk in this freaking store. So I walked in the store with her, right? Olivia, my daughter's acting a clown, acting a fool. And so we're kind of she's shopping around. I'm just following her. I didn't even go to the men's section. I just wanted to be supportive. I wanted to support my wife. So I'm walking around with her, holding my daughter's hand, whatever, trying to keep her, wrangle her down a little bit. And this lady kept looking at me, right? And at first I was like, she looks really familiar. Like I saw her, she saw me, and I was like, oh, she looks familiar. And then she walks over to me and she's like, "You're James, right? You're James? Running with James?" And I was like, yeah. She's like, "I know so-and-so and so-and-so, and I listen to the podcast, and I love the YouTube channel." And I was like, "Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you so much." And I was like, "I know I've seen you somewhere." So I think she runs out there where we run all the time. So I've got to have seen her.
Yeah, we've seen her on the trail probably.
But it was very nice for her to come up and say how much she enjoyed the show. She said Lauren was a joy and a pleasure.
Did she really?
And she said
gosh.
Rocky was hilarious and insightful. I'm making all of this part up.
Oh.
She said none of that. But I wanted you to feel good about yourself.
I didn't even know what insightful means.
I hope.
He said I didn't know what insightful. Oh my God. Look it up.
I heard hilarious was good.
I'll let you look it up, bro. I will let
She
you.
didn't really say any of that?
No, she didn't. She did say she listens to the podcast and
Okay.
she enjoys it.
Man, you got me feeling
In
like
fact, her
so like
exact
my
words-
heart felt so like
Her exact words were something
warm.
like she follows us on Instagram and stuff
Nice.
too, right? She stalks us, is what she said.
Oh.
So I told her she needs to come hang out with us. She's
Yeah.
in the gym. So
Oh, wow. Insightful. I like that. Thank you, lady.
She
Oh
didn't
my
really
God.
say that though.
Oh, well,
I was just trying to make y'all feel
said
good.
it, so
Yeah,
a
and
little
then
bit of
take
truth
it away
came
from me.
a
So I
little
like-
truth came.
Like I gave it to you and then I took it right
Put
back.
that on
Especially if
my,
you don't know what it means.
put
It
that on
would
my
definitely take it
LinkedIn
away.
bio.
Yeah, you can put it on your
Insightful.
okay, whatever. So anyway, that was it was very nice of her
Yeah.
to make the comment. So so thank you guys for listening and tuning in. I was looking over some of our stats or whatever for the last few months or what have you, and so I wanted to send out a quick shout out to Australia, Germany. I also wanted to send out a shout out to my people in Africa. Now that's
forgive you,
obviously
Germany.
a continent, right? But it didn't tell me what country in Africa. It just said Africa. Which doesn't make any sense because it's an entire continent, but that's fine. Probably because it was only one listen, so I don't know. But it
In the
still
entire
counts.
continent,
Still counts.
one listen.
Yep. So to all our folks in
That one
Germany that are
person.
listening, thank you so much. I want you to know this.
Don't do it.
Don't do what?
I know what you're about to do.
You don't know what am I going to do?
Go for it.
No, tell me what I'm going to do.
You can do the accent.
I'm not going to do the accent.
Okay.
We are going to the United Kingdom.
Okay.
We are about to get on a plane in like a day, right? It's so excited. Well, by the time you hear this,
It'll be a
You already
day.
there?
we'll be on the plane.
We will
when
be
you-
on the-
We'll
we'll be
on
there.
the plane when you hear this. And to all my folks in Germany, I know you know what HYROX is because you're into it. We're going to the HYROX World Championship.
started
We're
it.
going to be in UK. Das HYROX.
I told you.
And I want to let you know we're
bringing the
coming for
heat.
you, Germany. We're coming for you, Germany.
We're bringing the
'cause I know
heat.
y'all are like the best of the best. And y'all are like freaking.
America. Yeah.
Oh, I really thought he was gonna do it.
So USA. But obviously you guys are amazing. So
Do you want to tell the
be
people
nice to
about
us.
what you bought for this trip? Or is it going to be a surprise?
No, I mean it's not a surprise. I mean, I just got a cowboy hat. That's all.
No, he didn't just get he like was sending us pictures.
Well, here's the deal. I have
He got
cowboy
a
hats,
hat.
but they're like travel hats. They're like river trip hats. And I just felt like since we're going over there, we're from Texas.
You wanted to make sure they knew you were from
they're
Texas.
gonna say like cowboy. They're gonna do it anyway because everywhere we go, that's in this country, people are like, "Oh, you're from Texas. You must be a cowboy."
So I was gonna say the thing is, you got the hat. I'm like, well, you don't need the hat. They're gonna hear you talk and know where
They're
you're
gonna
from.
automatically hear the y'alls and the accent. So I was like, I need
Lean
to go
into
ahead,
it.
lean into it, and I'm a cowboy hat.
I told you
up.
you should have gotten chaps.
So I got. That's a whole different kind of thing, girl.
That'd been funnier.
Nobody's wearing chaps. Hey, well, there are people wearing chaps. That's Europe too, so there are plenty of people probably over there wearing chaps. So, but the point is, I got a cowboy hat that I'm gonna be wearing and sporting. I tend to wear it during the opening ceremony, right? So when we do the walkthrough as America, USA.
Are you gonna wear it from the walkthrough?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
The most Texas thing I'm bringing is my denim jacket that's got fringe on the back. I think that's the most like southern looking thing I've got. That's about
not
it.
Southern, dude.
I mean, I've got the shirt that says USA.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So anyway, so I'm wearing that, and then when we get on the podium, I'm gonna wear it as well.
Oh god.
Why are you laughing?
Because that's gonna be so funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear it. So, you like how I'm saying things like they're
Manifesting.
yeah.
I was about
I'm
to say her
I'm
manifesting
pulling
thing
a Lauren
again.
and manifesting. So no, we put in a lot of hard work. So
I think y'all are gonna do
and
it.
I'm going to freaking Manchester for crying out loud. So
You got to put in the work.
yeah, it's
Y'all are gonna do really well. I'm very excited to be going just to witness the whole spectacle and to see you and Tommy like kill it. I think y'all are gonna do really
And Joyce
well.
and Carlos, they're gonna do really well too.
Yes.
I feel like they're gonna do good. So
I'll be there in spirit. So
Yep.
I'll
close
take
your
your
eyes.
picture.
Yep. So I believe Laura and Jamie are going to do a watch party for us. So if you're
Yay.
interested, I'm just saying that. I've been saying that all
Oh, I
week
thought
to
you
them.
had really gotten to happen.
No, I just keep telling them that. Hopefully they would do it, and then we could have like everybody could come watch us.
Is it gonna be live
However,
or what? They're gonna.
I will be
Stream? We are gonna-
broadcasting it
she's
from.
gonna be broadcasting it live.
So yes, I will be doing a live stream of James and Tommy's entire run. So please make sure you tune in when we get there. I'll be keeping you up to date as far as when that's happening, what time you need to tune in
So
on
it'll be
your end.
next Saturday or Saturday,
The
not
26th.
next. The 27th.
6th,
Wow.
6th, 7th.
So right after you say that, I want you to say one other thing. You were.
James was right.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yes, the 27th. All right. It'll be in the midday. It'll be somewhere around noon or so.
Yeah.
So it'll be perfect timing. You'll already have done your run in the morning. You'll have time to eat brunch.
Watch us while you're eating lunch.
Yep. You could and get the people together. And
Get your
just
friends,
enjoy
get
it.
loud, get excited, send us love, send us
Yep.
little fire emojis, all the emojis.
Because we need to hear you over there because we need that fire.
It's gonna get really loud. You're gonna see a lot of like, if you've ever seen what's the movie where there's like handy cam with the monster? They're like running around. It's like first person camera of the thing running around.
Oh, Cloverfield.
Cloverfield. It's gonna be Cloverfield style. You're just gonna see me running around
gotcha.
with this camera.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
keep like a motion sickness
Maybe we
tablet
should take
next
the
to you.
gimbal so it'll be not as bad.
I'm gonna take the gimbal. I'm gonna have my microphone. I'm taking the mini mic. I'm taking it all. I'm gonna need a bag just for the equipment.
Sweet. So it's going to be a good time. So when you're hearing this, it's about to go down. We're just 4 days away. So I'm excited. Super excited. So how's the wedding?
It was cool. It was great. It was a great wedding. I think.
Who gets married on a Thursday?
That's what I want to know.
An accountant. Someone who's very frivolous.
Oh,
Frugal.
Not frivolous, frugal.
Frivolous.
That's the
No,
word.
that would be
Frivolous would be the opposite.
Yeah, the complete opposite. No, it was kind of awesome though because Natalie got the Olivia treatment.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
She was the
now-
only kid invited, huh?
Well, she was the only kid getting love.
Oh, okay.
She was getting love, and it was like crazy because we're not
She's the
related to
baby.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like there was other babies there. There was like 4 other babies, but Nala was getting love. Like the dude who married her, the pastor who did the wedding was like, hey, I did the walkthrough. You know, I call her my dog. She was my road dog. She's always with me at all times. We did the wedding rehearsal. We did the practice run, and I had Nala with me. Mm-hmm. And the pastor comes up.
Were
to
you
me and
carrying around on her belly?
That's how I carry my niece.
That's how I used to carry Olivia, actually.
Like
I thought it was
this?
funny that you did that.
goes,
Yeah.
Oh, cool. See, and then so he was like, hey, you gonna bring her up here during the wedding? And I was like, probably not. He goes, you should definitely bring her up here. And I'm thinking he's kidding.
Yeah.
The wedding's coming about. We're about to get lined up. We're all lined up, ready to go. He comes up to me. He goes, where's your daughter? And I'm like, she's with her grandma. And he's like, I told you to bring your daughter.
Oh, he was being dead serious.
Yeah, he was like, that'd have been very cool. I thought that'd have been awesome. She's so chill. And I'm like, oh,
That'd have been the one
nah.
time she wasn't chill.
Right?
That would have
the
been
one
true.
time.
Yeah.
But knowing her, she would take all the attention away.
That's true.
And so, but yeah, after that, everybody was like, can I come see her? The father, the groom, the bride's parents, they were like, can we
all
come
that
see this
love, man.
baby? And everyone, I was like, man, this is awesome. And she showed out. She did not cry, didn't have.
Just pass her
She's a good
around the
baby.
room.
Yeah, I was a groomsman, and so we had our own little cabin at the beginning where we were playing poker and pool. Mm-hmm. I had Nala with me the whole time.
So you were playing poker and pool while we were over here struggling and sweating.
Yeah.
God, dude, I'm going to be resentful about this for a long time. I just want you to know that.
I was-
I just want to. I've got audacity. I've got awe in my heart right now.
you know, it sucks because like I have horrible planning.
Yeah.
You know, I would just
It was
forget
funny because
stuff.
you got the Evite for the interview like 2 weeks
And
prior.
I accepted it.
And you accepted it.
accept it.
Yeah, I don't remember having a wedding, and then said, "Hey, our wedding's on Thursday." And I was like, "Who gets married on a Thursday?"
Exactly. That is like the universal
It's the weirdest
thought.
thing.
I was.
But since you said
I
he's
didn't
an,
believe it.
Since you said he's an accountant, that actually clicks.
Yeah. So anyway, well, we missed you, and
We did.
you know, whatever. I gotta let it go.
Gotta
God,
let
I'm
it
so
go.
mad. Oh, just looking at you.
I was gonna ask for some shoes. I told you to ask for some shoes for me.
We-
Oh, we
threw it
told
out
them
there.
specifically that if they were gonna like hook us up with anything, that you weren't to get anything. We were very specific. We were like, he gets nothing.
You at least called him RockDog. You called me RockDog. in
I
front of
did.
that.
You
and
did.
That even hurt my heart.
I'll take that.
That angered me. I'm mad about that too.
Well, we're gonna try to get you past this anger. Are you
No,
feel-
I'm gonna use it.
Are you feeling ready for the trip?
I'm gonna use it for Manchester.
So
I'm just gonna think of Rocky.
every time you like feel like you're like kind of like getting tired, think of that and it's
Actually,
rage out again.
Freaking Tommy and I today, we did our last workout today.
Oh,
our
they
last
were
main
giggling
workout.
so much today.
And like we're gonna do you remember Top Gun? you know, the volleyball scene, playing with the boys. We're going to do a music video to kind of launch
do a
us.
parody.
And like as we were working out, we were like thinking of lines that we would say, and I was like, dude, I'm going to use these lines in the race, because like we're like, I feel the need for speed. Ow! So I'm going to be doing that on the start line, and then like when he's struggling or whatever, engine 1 is out, engine 2 is out. We're going to be doing it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be good.
You got to keep yourself laughing. Got to keep
good.
having fun.
It's going to be good. It's going to be real good.
So
talk to me, Tommy. Talk to me, Tommy. When I'm struggling, all these lines, we're gonna use them.
I'm gonna have to like start writing some down so I can yell at y'all.
Yep.
Yell them at y'all.
We no. Tommy and I will be here. I promise. It's gonna be. If you see us laughing, if you're a distance away from us and you see one of us laugh,
but I'm gonna put one on a sign.
Huh?
I'm gonna put one on a
that's
sign.
Fine. You can do that too.
I'll have to Google one. So anyway, on the trip, we're all about to go on a big trip, and you're racing. Our friend Laura, she just got back from a race in another state. Yosemite.
Oh, that's a good race.
Yeah, I know. It's supposed to be really pretty. And then like a month ago, I went on a trip where I raced. So it seems like we're in a time of year where people are traveling for races. And not only us, but like outside of the BC family, I know a lot of people who are traveling for races. So how do you prepare? Like for people who have maybe are getting ready to their first trip out of state, or they're traveling maybe to Manchester. If you're on the plane already, too late for you. Anyone else? How do you prepare when you're getting ready to take a trip for your race? Whether it's like what you're packing, how you mentally prepare, how much time to give yourself in advance. All the things that go into planning for your mind, body, and literally for your luggage.
So are you just packing your race clothes and then everything else is just second?
No, because we're gonna be there a little bit of time.
We're gonna be there a week.
So we'll need to pack regular clothes, but the most important things are gonna be my kit, right? So, well, I think it depends on where you're going, how far away you're going.
Check the weather.
Right. So those are two major factors, like what part of the country or what part of the world are you going to? And then how long are you going to be gone, right? Or how long can you afford to be gone?
That's definitely part of it.
And then the weather obviously is going to be important. But then you also have the race portion of it, right? So probably the first thing is like you would talk about is like the week before and the week of the race, really you're done with your fitness, right? You're not getting any more fitness between that time and the race, right?
Yeah.
The last couple weeks. So really what you're just trying to do is you're trying to fine tune your racing strategy, your plan, familiarize yourself with race pace and let your body rest as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing, before you even leave, the best thing you can do is just sleep as much as you can. Rest your body as much as you can, right? Sleep if you can. Take ice baths if you want to get a massage. That's all great stuff. Stretch, do rolling and stuff like that. But knowing where you're going to go will kind of dictate like how much time probably you need to be there, right?
Sure.
So if you're going to, like, our event is going to be
Another country.
in another country,
far away.
but it's inside,
Yes.
right? It's going to be, climate controlled.
Yes.
So the elements aren't going to be a big deal. But if you're going someplace like, say, Colorado, or you're going somewhere, where there's elevation, right? Well, your body, will adapt to that to an extent, right? So knowing where you're going really kind of depends on, if you want your best performance, on how much time you need for your body to adapt, right? So studies have shown, and they've said that, if you're going someplace where there's high elevation, right? So probably something over, 4,000 or 5,000 feet elevation, that, you either want to get there like the day before the race,
Okay.
right? Or you want to get there, if you can't be there, if you're going to be there earlier than that, then you probably want to be there at least probably 5 days plus before.
Okay.
Right. So, and part of it, and so I've always kind of wondered why that was, right? And so part of what I'm thinking is, and this is not scientific. There's some science to this, but I haven't seen a study that shows this. Okay.
So just to clarify, either 24 hours or 5 days. That's a big gap.
It is.
So,
it is.
Yeah.
And here's why, right? And I'm putting a disclaimer.
Okay.
I am not a doctor. I have not seen any type of scientific data that says this.
This is just from what you've
This is just what, from my understanding, what I experienced personally.
Okay.
Okay. So when you get to elevation, your body is saturated with oxygen already because you've been at sea level, right? And so if you race or whatever, you should be okay, right? You may be a little short of breath because the air is a little thinner, but you've got all the oxygen you probably need in your bloodstream already, right? Where after 2 or 3 days, your body starts to adapt and your body's not as saturated with oxygen because the elevation is, the air is so thin, right? And so you need that extra 3 or 4 days for your body to adapt, right? So that you can be able to perform at a similar level that you would perform at in the past, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it really, I mean, for a best case scenario, you want to be there probably 4 weeks before, because it takes your body 4 to 6 weeks, right? But nobody has, I mean, unless you're a professional
Who's getting that
athlete,
kind of PTO?
nobody's getting that, right? So that's not going to happen, right? So, you know, the best thing probably to do for most of us, if we're going to like a high elevation type place, is the day, 1 to 2 days before,
Okay.
max. And if you can afford to be there, I guess, a week before, that's great, right? And then that way you can kind of acclimate to the weather a little bit better, or the elevation a little bit better.
Okay.
Now, for us, we are going a long way.
Yes.
Right? So it's like, what, 8.5, 9-hour flight?
It's a 9-hour flight.
Right? So we are basically, I think it's 8 hours.
8:55, I
They're
think.
8 hours ahead of us.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I believe so.
So they're I think 8 hours ahead of us. So that's going to be major jet lag. Right? So when we get
That's a
there.
whole sleep.
Yeah, it is. That's 8 hours of sleep. Right? So, like, when we're getting up, like, so if you get up at, you know, I don't know, you usually get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, right? Well, over there, it's what, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's going to be kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, for us, you know, that's part of the reasons why we're getting there a little early. So we're going to arrive 4 days before the competition so that we have a little bit of time, number one, to get over the, you know, the
Jet lag.
the flight itself,
Yeah.
right? But then also kind of adapt a little bit to the sleep. And I mean, your circadian rhythm's going to be all jacked up
Yeah.
and off anyway, right? But at least this way we have a little bit of time to adapt.
And sightsee.
And I'm probably not going to be. And this is the other thing. Before a race, I would not, if you're going to a new city, a new thing, you know, I would say probably give yourself some time after the race rather than before the race, because you don't want to be exhausting yourself.
You're there for
walking
something.
around, running around, sightseeing. Now, I mean, for you, it's a different story. But for us, you know, I'm not going to want to walk around a bunch because
You and Tommy can hang out. Me and the wives are
I'm
going to go
trying
out.
not to exhaust myself before the event, right? So I see people do this a lot of time, like on marathon day, right? They'll go to the expo, and they'll go to the expo like on Saturday, right? And that's like the day before the race, and they stay at the expo for, you know, 3 or 4 hours, and they put in like 20,000 steps in the day, right? Right before they're about to go run a marathon. So you're really putting a lot of mileage on your legs, right? So you want to be rested, as well rested as you possibly can be. So that week that we're there, right, the plan is, yeah, we'll probably do a little bit of, maybe on Thursday, we'll get out and see the city a little bit,
I would
right?
assume, yeah.
But, you know, other than that, just trying to be as chill as we possibly can be so that we can rest and be ready as we can for Saturday.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, that's going to be... It's so funny because I remember when we first started planning it, you were like, yeah, we're just going to like hang real low for those first couple days. And Tommy was like, wait, like, really? Like, we're not going to like sightsee? And you're like, no, man, we got to race.
I know. I mean, we're going to race. We're not going, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's exciting. We're going to a new country.
See, that's
but
always so hard for me, especially if I were going to another country, because I am like put me anywhere. And I'm like, I want to go like explore my surroundings. Because like you said, I can go out with the wives and you and Tommy
It's called self-control, you know?
I don't
so,
have it.
I mean, I'm there to perform and do a really good job, right? I have a goal in mind.
Yeah, you do.
But I mean, we're also going to be there for another 4 days afterwards. So we're going to see some stuff. It's crazy. She's like, yeah, but we're going to miss a whole day of seeing things. Oh my gosh. Right?
Yeah, but you're on a mission. You got a podium in your eyes. You got podium in
That's
your
exactly
sights.
right.
You're on a
So
mission.
that's-
So
But up until Saturday, that's the only thing I care about. After Saturday, whether we podium or not, I don't care. We want to have a good time.
Big
I want my wife
Ben.
to enjoy herself. We're going to see Big Ben. Go to Ireland. We're going to do the thing. Leap year. Whoop, whoop.
oh, you gonna take the train to Ireland?
No, we're not going to take the train to Ireland. We're going to fly to Ireland because it's not too expensive. No.
What?
Plus, we also don't want to have to catch that
Ferry.
boat across
That
the water.
ferry.
Yeah. So, man, I wish I could have. I should have just kept it in and just waited till we got there. It'd been so good. It'd have been so awesome.
What?
If I had waited to tell you that you were wrong.
No. I found out I was wrong sooner than I wanted to.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
it'd been good. Anyway, let's go right past that. Let's not talk about that anymore.
Okay, so yeah, you're going to be controlling yourself. I'm going to be finding all the best places for us to have lunch and dinners.
There's
and
like no good food there. Good luck.
No, I want a traditional English breakfast.
Oh, so
That is
chips
a
and
must.
Fish? Fish and
no,
chips?
No, an English breakfast. Like
Oh,
a
poached
traditional-
eggs?
Blood sausage.
Blood sausage, beans and toast, a roasted tomato. I've seen whole videos on this.
Yeah, okay.
Tea with milk? Wait,
I
no
do
milk.
that anyway. No, they do milk. They can do
Yeah, they
milk.
put
I do that
milk in their
anyway.
Ugh.
It's delicious.
You're not
I'm
gonna brush your
very
teeth in the morning
excited.
either?
Wow, let's not. We have
Don't
several people
offend people.
in the
We
United
haven't even
Kingdom
gotten there
that
yet.
listen. Let's not insult.
You know, dang well I don't brush my teeth in the morning, UK, so you're good.
Oh my God.
I brush my teeth in the morning. I'm
You
sorry.
don't
So
get
anyway,
your ramble session
depending
yet.
on where you are going will depend kind of like what your pre-race ritual needs to be. But here's what it breaks down to: as much sleep as possible.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing too intense, nothing crazy, nothing but really shakeout runs. If you're going to do some speed work, probably no more than like 4 or 5 days before, right? And it
Okay.
needs to be a super low-key, short interval session or speed session or workout. Nothing too intense. Keep the intensity super duper low. And then, hydrate and eat well, right?
So
that's I think for us going to not just a new city, but another country.
Yeah.
That I think is going to be the biggest challenge.
So I was
is
actually just
eating.
going to say the eating, obviously before the race, you don't want to necessarily experiment with new foods or
No.
new cuisines or anything your body's not adapted to.
Get that mud butt.
Yeah, you don't want that on race day unless it helps you run faster.
It won't. I mean, it'll help you run faster to the bathroom. That's it. My God.
But yeah, so I think I'll be trying to help do a little planning as far as like maybe good restaurants that are like safe in terms of like won't mess your stomach up.
Good luck.
But then after the race, it's all bets are off. You can try whatever you want.
Sure.
Haggis. We're gonna eat some haggis.
Probably not. That's not going to happen.
Okay, so what about your nutrition? You're taking your nutrition, I assume.
Well, see, that's the other thing is, for most races, I take like my pre-workout, I'll take like my protein drinks, things of that nature, right? So I do try to take as much of the stuff that I can.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be transparent. This is my first international flight, right? So I don't know
World
what the
travelers,
rules
baby.
are. I don't know what the rules are. And that's what I got to look up. And
In terms
I
of
meant
what?
to do that. Like, what can I take with me, right? Like, can I take my if I check my bag, can I take my pre-workout? Can
If
I
it's in the
take
bag, yeah.
my whatever? Are they gonna like stop me at the customs and be like, oh, what is this? What are you trying to smuggle in, right? So
No.
I don't know how all that works. So I have to do some research to find that out. And I'm not just gonna go off of you two yahoos telling me yay or no, right?
I've
I'm gonna
literally
look it up.
traveled.
Okay.
Across
Have you carried buckets of pre-workout or
not a
protein?
bucket of people, but like you could put some in like baggies and like
I
write
think
on
that
it.
would be even more
That's so
suspect.
Well, because the
sketchy.
dogs will smell it. If they have dogs or something, they'll smell it. I literally gone to and from with snacks in my bag, like full snacks.
I believe it.
I think you'd be fine.
I don't.
Do your research.
I'm gonna find out
Do your
first,
research.
just to make sure. But I figured it wouldn't be a big deal.
No.
So that's something. So that's the other thing. If you're unsure of some things like that, right? So if you're unsure of where you're going, what's available to you, food wise, hydration wise, right? You need to do some research and make sure because you don't. When you get to a race, an event, especially when you're traveling for it, you want to be able to perform at your best, right? And you don't want something dumb or something weird or something out of the ordinary to keep you from giving your best, especially when
Yeah.
you've trained as
Yeah,
hard as
you don't want to
probably
make a dumb
trained
mistake.
to get to this place, right? You want to be as strong and rested as you can be and as fueled as you possibly can be on race day.
I would assume it's probably also not a bad idea to in advance, if you are able to kind of like maybe Google, are there like run stores or athletic stores? I'm sure they're like how we have Fleet Feet here. I'm sure they have some sort of equivalent. This is not a tiny third world country. This is a major city.
Sure.
So we might be able to Google and see if there is like a runner store or some kind of athletic store. They might have things for whatever reason. If you forget something,
Yeah,
you
that's
might
a good
be able
idea,
to find
right?
something.
Kind of mark out places beforehand.
So you don't panic.
So that you can kind of be prepared. So I mean, I know like a couple years ago we went to a race and one of our companions, their bag got lost.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
And
it was a
all
whole
of their
thing.
stuff was like
Everything
in
was
that bag.
gone.
Like I think the only thing they had was their race kit.
She literally only had her, which was all she really
I was gonna
needed.
actually
But
ask that. Are you gonna put like your race gear, the things that are a necessity, onto your carry-on with
Yeah.
you?
But I mean, the cool thing is we're
Just
not
in case.
So we're not like switching planes.
Yeah, it's a
so
direct
It
flight.
shouldn't really be an issue,
Yeah.
right? Because this is a direct flight there, so there shouldn't be an issue with our bag getting
Mm-hmm.
lost. But yeah, so important crap, I'm putting carry on, right? So that's my race kit. Anything that I deem that is
Your iPad.
like very important that I'm
Yeah.
going to need for the trip for sure, like that I couldn't just replace when I get there.
Yeah.
will go on my carry on.
For me, when I travel for races, the most important thing I always, always, always keep an eye on is my race kit. Anything else, a jacket, I mean, heaven forbid I have to go buy another jacket, but anything else, if I can replace it, if I have to go buy another shirt for whatever reason or some socks, not a big deal. But
Yeah.
as long as my race gear
Yeah.
is with me, everything else is fine. My
Yeah.
wallet, my race gear.
And that's a good suggestion, right? So I mean, especially if you're flying somewhere. I mean, usually I don't ever check anything.
I don't usually. I usually
I
take
carry
my Hype's
everything on
backpack.
because I'm not taking a chance.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
But no matter what, I always make sure that, like, even in my backpack, because sometimes they force you to check your stuff when you get on there, right?
Especially if it's a smaller plane, for whatever reason, if you're flying a smaller plane.
But in my backpack, I always put my race kit. That includes my shoes, my socks, my shorts, my shirt that I'm going to wear, and even my pre-workout a lot of times. And my little, because I carry my little shaker.
That's not a bad idea. As long, just make sure your shaker's empty, obviously.
Yeah, so no water. It's just like in the powder form. But as long as that's allowed for that flight. But yeah, so that, because like I said, you want to make sure you put all this work, right? You're talking months and months in preparation, depending on the event, right? It could be even longer than that.
Yeah.
You got all this preparation, and you don't want something dumb like a lost bag or
ruin it.
Doing something stupid like, leaving your favorite pair of socks or something somewhere, right? And you've got to replace them. And that's going to be really hard to do because they may have places where you're going that sell running stuff, but there's no guarantee it's going to be the stuff you like.
Well, and then what do we always say about try to avoid anything new?
Right. You don't want to do anything new on race day.
Because
right?
you don't want to go get the new socks and get a blister.
Right. So that includes food, that includes hydration, that includes gear, right? That includes, your shoes, your socks, everything. So you want to make sure that you are, basically running and training in the same things that you're going to be racing in.
Yep.
Right. So those are like the big things, right? So, when it comes to that race week, right, I usually find, so we talked a couple weeks ago, we were talking about like resetting, right? And how do we come out of a race, right? Well, leading up to the race, usually depending on the distance, we'll do some sort of taper, right? And part of that taper, and so here's the thing I hear a lot of people talk about is like, as they get close to a race, they start carb loading. Okay?
Yeah.
So your body has about 60 minutes worth of glycogen stores. So if you're doing anything under a 10K, carb loading is ridiculous and unnecessary, right? And it will lead, you can very easily either gain weight or kind of bloat yourself, right? Which could slow you down. And so one of the things you have to think about is, you were running and training really, really hard for weeks and weeks and months on end, right? Now you're not training and running as hard as you were. So that means you're not burning as many calories as you were. So that also means you're not going through glycogen as much. You're not going through the hydration in your body, right?
Yeah.
So like anything that you do that is, eating a ton of carbs or eating a ton of, and I'm not saying carbs aren't bad. I'm definitely a carber.
We're carb people.
Right, a carb person. But like eating a ton of pasta or a ton of pizza 1 or 2 days before the event or even the whole week of the race, it's just not necessary.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to overindulge on calories, and it can be easy to either gain weight or become, like I said, kind of lethargic.
Yeah.
And gain a few pounds the week of the race, right?
Yeah.
So you want to be lean, mean, fighting machine.
You want to be ready to go.
You want to kind of be aware of what you're putting in your body that week, right? So, and not going crazy on, carbs, I guess. And even the carbs people usually carbo load with they're not the carbs you want to load with, right? So you want to think carb complex, not
Don't put down the double cheeseburger.
Yeah, and don't like white pasta or whatever.
Please refer back to our 5 myths of running first season, episode 2 or 3.
Yep. Do you actually know the episode numbers?
Something like that.
Or are you just guessing?
I'm a producer. I should know this.
You should.
You should, but do you?
I want somebody to
Fact check.
comment.
Fact check.
Comment on
Is
the thing
he
below.
right?
Is he
It's
correct?
definitely top 5.
Because I'm gonna
First 5.
It's definitely top 10.
Yeah, sure. It's something like that. So, but so the week of the race, sleep for sure. Make sure you're eating good. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Don't worry about necessarily carb loading unless you're doing like an ultra or something like that. Carb loading is probably not necessary. And then 2 or 3 days before you leave, lay your stuff out. Get everything that you're going to be wearing, specifically your race kit, lay it all out. Make sure bam, 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 bam. You don't want to wait until the day of to like try to, and that's usually how I pack. I like to pack like we're leaving on the plane around noon. I like to get up at 9 and start packing, right? But usually,
Dude, I started
she's
packing
freaking out
this
right
past
now.
week.
Yeah, so I know you're crazy though.
I started packing already.
Yeah, so but usually the day
She should
or
be
two
packing
before,
to the day before she leaves,
I'll
too.
start like laying my stuff out and making sure I have the stuff prepared to go, right? And
Like
then
the
before I
first
pack
day of
anything,
school.
I lay it all out.
That's so much fun though to do that. That's one thing about Trip that I do get excited about is I love laying out my stuff to pack in outfits or like however I'm organizing it. I get so because it is for me. It's like the first day of school. I'm like, okay, got this outfit for this outfit or this outfit for this.
So let me ask you on the on a
and then
scale.
I scale it all down. I get realistic.
But how many of those outfits do you actually end up wearing?
I've gotten much better actually. I've gotten to where I do actually because I go through like I scale things down. I'll go through like a run and then I have to get rid of 25%. So I've actually gotten down to where I will wear almost everything. I might have like one extra outfit.
See, I
just
like to
in
do
case.
outfits where like I can coordinate. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
Where
switch
like maybe I
things.
could take one bottom and I could get 3 different looks at it.
Yeah,
do that
that's
for
what I
You
sure.
feel
do.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like
what I do.
I could do a dressy
You do
outfit.
staples.
I could do like
Casual.
dress down cash.
Yeah.
I could do sporty, right? So I could be all
Sporty.
the Spice Girls.
Oh, I was just gonna say that.
Dang it. And you're going to
You
UK
took my
too.
joke.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's what I do. No, I bring staples so I can mix and match.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about
And
that.
I mean, cool thing now is like things are so casual in general. Like you can dress up and still be dressed down.
This is true.
Right. I think when we went to the after thing or whatever last year for HYROX World Championships, I had like some jeans and a friggin'
One, like, it was like a
Hawaiian
little-
shirt, and she was all like, "Oh, you look like such a dad," or some bull like that. And I was like,
Y'all,
I
you,
look
y'all
fresh.
you looked good.
What
You
talking
looked good,
about?
but it was like elevated, like young, cool dad look. But it looked good.
I look good.
That
If you
I
wanna
didn't
be
say you didn't
a
look good. That's a
runner,
good thing.
Gotta listen to James.
It's a good thing.
So anyway,
There's a lot of Spice Girls.
Um,
I got it. 100%.
I would definitely say make sure you check into the weather, what the weather's like
Yep.
wherever you're
I
going.
mean, where we're going, it's going to be like high of 60s, low of 40s, right? so
Low,
we haven't
high-
been in that kind of
yeah.
temp in a few weeks now.
That's going to be nice.
That's
I
gonna
got to
be
pull
very
out a
nice.
sweater again. I already
So, mean,
pulled
we're
out a lightweight
talking-
sweater.
So that's the other thing that can kind of gum up your works is, okay, now you're planning for different climates.
Yeah.
And you can go nuts with all the stuff because you're like, oh, well, I've got to have outfits. And
But like,
outfits.
luckily you said our event, it's inside.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. But if you're an outside event, check the weather. Know what you need to bring.
But
If you
it
got to
would
bring a
always
jacket.
be a good idea. Go ahead. And that's the thing, like, especially in Texas. Like, I remember we took, when I was younger, we had the state cross country meet, actually. My senior year in high school, the state cross country meet, we were headed to Baylor in Waco, right? And that evening we stayed, I forgot where we stayed, but they had like a jacuzzi or whatever. So we got out there and we're sweating, but we're in this jacuzzi because when do teenage boys get to get into a jacuzzi, right?
Together, yep.
But we were jumping in the pool, jumping in the jacuzzi, jumping in the pool, jumping in the jacuzzi, right? And we were just having a good time, sweating,
Oh, my goodness.
whatever. The next morning, we
Done.
woke up
Cold.
and it was like 35 degrees.
Yeah.
And the wind was blowing. And we're sitting here with like these little baby tank tops and little
Short
shorts, right? Freezing. We were not prepared.
That's what it felt like, Waco at the stadium.
We had nothing ready to go. We didn't have gloves. We were freezing, bro. So, it would have been smart had we known, or our coaches, we're smart guys, we would have, had backup stuff like
Long sleeve.
windbreakers,
Yeah.
sweatsuits, take at least a jacket or something to cover up
Between,
with, right? So have something, backup just in case, so that you're prepared for,
A light
especially if you go to a
jacket is
place that
never a bad
changes.
idea.
Yeah, it's just,
No.
especially a windbreaker or something, right? So I think the key is, more than anything, and this is what we always talk about when we talk about our training plans, when we talk about our racing, is make a plan,
Make a plan.
right? Make a plan. Try to be as prepared as you possibly can, right? There's probably not a way for you to be over prepared, right? I'm a pretty relaxed guy, right? I don't stress about anything. Like, we haven't gotten our passports yet,
I'm
Right.
I'm panicking for you.
right? So now, I mean, they've been approved.
Yours
Says mine's
has.
shipped out. It's on. It should be here by like by today, I think, or something like that, right? I'm like, we're gonna get it. Don't worry about it. Worst case scenario, if not, we'll go to the freaking passport place, and we'll be like banging on the door and be like, hey, I paid that expedited. Where's my passport at, right? My wife is losing it.
She's so
Yeah,
stressed.
she's just on hold when I
No,
got
she's
here.
been on hold all day.
Yeah, she's
Oh.
called 3 times today.
4.
Maybe
She
4. I don't know.
she
had
accidentally
hung
hit
up
that.
one time,
She
that's right.
accidentally hung up after being on hold for like
Yeah.
so long.
So like squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't stress. I'm just like, hey,
Squeaky wheel gets
hey,
the grease.
it's gonna happen. We're gonna get there. We're all good, right? So I try not to get anxious. When we went on that trip to that one trip,
the Vermont trip.
the Vermont trip, I was like chill.
You were
the whole
so
time.
chill. You did pull a very big brotherly move when the car situation happened.
That
when
pissed me off, though.
You did pull a big brotherly move because I was like so defeated and I was like, I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, I was pissed off. But other than that,
You were chill.
I was just like, we'll get there.
You were super
It'll be
chill.
okay. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. They were freaking out.
I feel like I travel pretty chill. I feel like I'm a pretty chill traveler.
You were kind of anxious, dude. You were excited when we were coming back, and you thought we were going to go on the train in New York. That was a different kind of anxiety. You were like happy about it. You're like, adventure time.
I'm always down for an adventure. To me, like really bad situations, even though they stress me out, I know they always lead to fun stories.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, hey, we're going to make it. Don't worry about it. I mean, it may cost us a little bit more, or we may have to like get on the street corner or whatever and put up a sign, but we'll figure it out, right? we know people.
Hike up them shorts, show them ankles.
We love people that love us, right? So we get on the phone. Worst case scenario,
wire us some money.
It's like, hey, hook a brother up, right? People, we'll be all right. So I mean,
he's like, I'm out here with 2 chicks about to lose it. Please help me, help you, help me,
actually,
help you.
that last night I was on edge a little bit.
Oh yeah, you didn't want the green beans I made in the microwave.
And that's why I think I was on edge. Is I was so hungry.
You were.
And
You were hangry.
We had nothing to eat.
You were
there was
hangry.
no way to get food, and I was starving.
Yeah,
to
it
death.
was a lot.
And this chick tried to serve me some freaking
Microwave
green beans or whatever, like, and tried to like make them sound so good.
I was making the best out of a crappy situation.
No. You were pissing me off. What you were doing. Yeah, so, man. So these people are like, you just said you were chill, James. I digress. All right, certain situations. So, but I think that's the thing is you want to enjoy yourself. The whole point,
Yeah.
I was telling somebody the other day that, why are you doing this? What's the whole point of you doing? Because they were freaking out about something. I don't remember what it was, but they were freaking out. They had a horrible attitude. I was like, why are you doing this? And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, well, what's the whole point of this? It's like, because I enjoy it. You don't look like you enjoy it right now.
Yeah.
I was like, relax.
If this is you enjoying it,
remember,
man.
this is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be enjoying this. It's supposed to be an adventure. You signed up for this, or you did it for the adventure of it all, to challenge yourself. So don't forget the whole reason you're doing this, right? And if you remember that, it can help you relax, help you enjoy it. And then eventually when you get to the race, you'll be a lot more, you'll be able to enjoy it and probably perform much better.
To me, it's like once you're on the plane, it's all out of your control for the most part. So might as well go with it.
Yeah.
So that's how I usually go.
We just got to get on that plane.
I'm usually stressed for any trip up until it's like time to get on the plane. Because once I'm there, I'm like, well, if I don't have it, I don't have it. And gotta make the most out of it.
She stresses when we go on trips. Like, it doesn't matter where we're going or when we go. She freaks out.
Really?
Yeah. So I can't only imagine.
I could actually see that.
I can only imagine what's going to happen the day we're about to leave, the day we're leaving. That chick, ooh, I'm gonna have my chill on like high mode.
You got to make her a checklist.
Because I got to help calm her, or I've got to try to watch myself, because the only thing, honestly,
I'm buying her and I a glass of wine at the
very
airport.
few things stress me out, right? Very few things stress me out. Like, most of the time, I'm just like, what will be, que sera, sera. What will be, will be, right? The number one thing that stresses me out is my wife. If my wife is freaking out, or if she's stressed, or she's like that, that gets me. It's like, I don't know. When mama's not happy.
And they say, happy wife, happy life.
That's right. So when she's not happy, like, it's not a good day. Not a good day at all.
No one's enjoying it.
And then I don't handle it well either, is the problem. Because I'm like, why are you angry all the time? Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, also, I was
right
gonna say, you're also so sarcastic sometimes. I feel like that would also just like
Doesn't
add,
help.
it elevates her, like, her temper.
It doesn't help. When we first got married, we hadn't been married maybe a couple weeks. And, like, we had our first fight, or what have you. And this chick, we were like, I don't even know what it was about. But I do remember distinctly, like, trying to get her to talk about it, right? And she was trying to walk away from me. And I was just like, we got to talk about this. We can't let's get this, da-da-da-da. And so she, like, turned around, and she called me, like, a bad word, right? And I've never heard her use a bad word in her life, in my life, right? Known the chick for, like, 3 years. I never heard her cuss before. And I was like, I looked at her, and she shut the bathroom door. And I, like, came through the door, and I was laughing. I was like, really? I was like, that's how it's going to be? And I was like, so I'm going to be this, and you're going to be this, and we're going to be a couple this and that's up in here rolling around in this piece or whatever. And she looked at me, she started laughing. And then we said, okay, let's maybe not do that kind of stuff anymore. So that was like, but it was just funny because she was not happy.
She was hot.
And it was my fault because I was like egging her on.
No, you don't say.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm an
believe
instigator.
that.
I know, I'm an instigator. It's my cross to bear, and all y'all's cross to bear, actually.
I was going to say, it's not just your
It's
cross
my
to bear.
weakness, it's y'all's cross to bear. So I'm an instigator. I know. I'm trying to work on it, though.
It's your love language.
Nah, I don't know if it's
I don't
a
know
love
if it's a love
I
language.
don't
It's a
think that's
language.
It's a language,
It's definitely
but not
a
one of love.
language.
Not at all. So I was trying to instigate Laura and Lauren the other day. I don't remember what it was about, but I was trying to get them both.
Probably. You're always trying to instigate with me and Laura. And Laura's like the sweetest, most Midwestern, like, kind of person.
I don't know how sweet she is, but she's very,
sweet.
amicable.
Amicable. Yeah, she's very passive about a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. She's like good to go.
And not passive aggressive, just straight
And if
passive.
she doesn't agree with you, she just won't say anything.
She just gets quiet.
That's how I know she's like on my side, is when she won't like.
Help Lauren out.
Yep.
When she doesn't come to my aid.
When she doesn't come to Lauren's aid, exactly. I know she's like she agrees with me, and so I will vocalize that Laura agrees with me. And Lauren's like, "Nuh-uh." I'm like, "Oh yeah, she ain't talking." So what else? What are we missing?
I mean, I'm trying to think. So we talked about be prepared, check the weather.
Yep.
Be prepared for weather. Keep your kit close by.
Yep. Kit is the most important thing.
Kit is the most important thing you take.
Yep. You want to be as
give yourself
comfortable and as fit and as like ready to go as possible. And the last thing you want is wearing somebody else's drawers.
Give yourself a little time before your race to get there, to acclimate, to become aware of your surroundings, sleep.
And that's why it's good
hydrate.
to get there a little bit early as well. So you can maybe go the day before or whatever to know like where can I park?
What's the situation
what's
like?
the travel arrangements? Do I need to take a Uber? Do I need to take a train?
Yeah.
How long is it going to take me so that you make sure you have more than enough time so that
Yeah.
you're not rushing right at the start line.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you can do your warm up and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Don't try fancy new foods before race day.
Right.
Do it after.
Stay away from Indian food.
I love Indian food.
Yeah.
Rocky, what else was there? Did we cover?
Did we cover?
Well, I'm going over like the highlights in case people need to like remember the specifics.
Oh, if you need to remember anything, go
bullet
back
points.
and please listen to it again. All the streams we can get.
I feel like you weren't listening either.
Oh, I was listening.
Rest. Number one is rest.
Rest.
Yes.
Right.
Sleep.
Be prepared. As prepared as you possibly can.
Coordinate.
Right. Coordinate. Right. Make sure you
Coordinate.
got outfits that coordinate. Right. Get
Sleep.
some sort of nutrition plan. Right. So have some plan for whether you're bringing your stuff, where you're going to might be eating it, specifically before the race.
Yep.
Make sure you are familiar with the area
Yep.
and what is around there, for emergencies and then also for travel. And then the last thing I would say, I mean, those kind of all like bring everything we said together, but the last thing is enjoy yourself.
Have fun.
Have fun.
About the
fun.
journey.
Yep. Enjoy it as much as you possibly can because for many of these places, right, you go to a race in Yosemite, that might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I would
right?
say,
You
I
may
don't know
never get
when the
another chance
next time
do
we're
it
going to get to go to UK
right?
is.
So when's the
I mean,
next?
yeah.
Right. So I mean, we're going to the UK to do this race. If it wasn't for this race, we probably would not be. We wouldn't be going to the UK,
Yeah.
right? We would pick something else to go.
And it's not even like it's a small race. It's a big race.
This is a big race.
So if you're going for like a small race to travel and you do it all the time, then and you already know what to do. But like if you're going for a big race,
Yeah.
the one you're preparing for, listen to what
So I mean, and
listen to
I will
what was
be
said
honest.
today.
This is like I think this year, we've still done Spartan races. We've still done OCR events, right? We've still done road races and trail races and all that other stuff. But I feel like we truly committed to HYROX this year. Right?
did.
This was
Yeah.
This is our A race, right? Even though we had to qualify to get to this race, the whole reason we were qualifying was for this race, right? So this was the race we've been prepping for all year long,
Yeah.
right? So it's not a marathon. It's not like an OCR event. This is our A race. So, we put a lot of work and effort into this. We've been training for a long time. So, is there pressure to go out and perform at our best? I think so. Yes, for sure. Is it going to be different too because we're going to be in a whole new environment? Yeah, for sure. But the whole reason we're doing this is to enjoy ourselves and we enjoy the time together, right? We've built a great relationship, doing the training together. And so I think like for us, I think it's just going to come down to we have the fitness, we have the ability. It's just about going out and enjoying it, right? And then our fitness will speak for itself, right?
Yeah.
Not putting too much pressure on ourselves, because here's the deal. We're not going to lose a sponsorship. We're still going to be sponsored by BC Fitness.
And still be affiliated with HYROX.
Yeah, we'll still be affiliated with HYROX. We gave them money to say that. So, like, there is literally, we're still going to have a great time while we're in Manchester, right? We're going to go see a lot of awesome stuff. So there's no pressure, in my opinion. There's no downside. We have only upside. Nobody's expecting us to win. Nobody is like, they didn't even put us on the
Missed opportunity, guys.
Yep. They did like a post, right, with all the names of all the qualifiers and everybody's going to be there. They also did another one that had like the picture of like the teams
Here's
that are
some
going
of
to
the
be
teams
there.
that are going to be there.
We weren't even on there. And that's fine. I mean, I don't care,
Oh,
right?
snap.
So that's what I'm saying. So there's no expectation, right? So we could go out there and come in 8th place
But
and
they're
nobody's
gonna-
going to be surprised.
I think when we show up, they're going to know who BC is.
Yeah, you're gonna
I
have
think
cowboy
they're
hat
gonna
on.
know. Well, besides the cowboy hat,
By
they're
the
gonna
time
know.
we leave, they're going to know from that cowboy hat. Hey, there's that guy with the cowboy hat on again. So, but I'm excited. I'm super excited because I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
I think y'all are gonna
I'm
have
excited to see how the team does.
Yep.
We have a good group of people. We have like 8 or 9 people going with us as a crew.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a fun
overall.
group.
So that's going to be a lot of fun too, I think. So I mean, these are the way you build memories, right? So no matter the experiences we've had on some of the races we've traveled for, and even how they've turned out, I feel like every team trip we've had has always been an adventure.
Oh, for sure.
And there's always a good story that we've had to tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we went to the OCR World Championships. That was an adventure, right?
Yeah.
And there were some funny parts about that story, about that trip. There were some stressful parts about that trip. There were some people who ticked me off on that trip, right? I know there were some people I ticked off on the trip, but it's okay. That's what brings us closer together, right?
We're also here.
Right? So there's all like it's those events, it's those things I feel like really bring us together. And seeing the team this year, do a lot of events together, from, the Waco Stadium to, the HYROX in Houston was really, really cool, right? Seeing us kind of come together and see people conquer these things, right? In whatever capacity, whether it's qualifying for the World Championships, whether it's just finishing your first race, whether it's getting a PR, like seeing all these things happen I think that's what it's really all about, right? It's helping each and every one of us overcome the I can't, right?
Yeah.
And it really helps us to change our minds. And then I'm seeing these people, their lives are truly changing, right? And they're, they're living like with a different level of confidence, right? They're taking on things in life that maybe they wouldn't take, right? Their demeanor changes, right? So, I think that's what really, honestly, that's what it's all about. And if you can use fitness to help you do that, then you have a healthier, happier life, and you can actually enjoy the journey more so than, just being alive for the sake of being alive, right? If that's all you're living life for, is just to survive, then you're missing so much.
True to that, for sure. You've
Facts.
been so quiet this whole time.
Well, I don't want to get fired again. I'm walking on a tightrope. So
I think a little off topic, but kind of more in line with what you were just saying. Something that's I'm really, really glad that I'm going on this trip with the team to watch, because I've known you and Tommy for over a decade now. And I think kind of getting of the trio, feel like the little sister of the two of you, and how y'all met at Iron Sports, the thing that kind of brought us together. And then just through the years, the ins and outs, the rises and the falls, and then y'all come, it all seems to come back together with this family and this community that you've created and where y'all are now.
I wouldn't say we've created it.
Well,
you
you created BC Fitness, which kind of was like the beacon that called us all back.
Sure.
But like kind of seeing where y'all are now heading, how like y'all's friendship and y'all's brotherhood has kind of formed.
You and Tommy should kiss. Where are they heading to?
The bromance.
The bromance. Budding
Actually,
bromance.
it was so funny. We were talking today and we literally were thinking the same thing. And so
they were cracking up
we
so
looked
much
at each
during the
other
workout.
and we did the top
Oh,
gun
is that what y'all
high
were
five,
doing?
and we nailed it the first time.
See, they're on
Oh,
sync.
We nailed it the first time.
They're
We were
so
like,
on sync.
Nailed it.
Chemistry's on point right now.
I mean, if we were women,
Like, you're syncing up, syncing up cycles, syncing up cycles. It's basically the male equivalent.
seriously, I think it's funny because like Tommy and I, we have known each other for a long time, and so I remember like if we go out somewhere together, like not like an event, but like
Just,
to dinner
like,
or
yeah.
whatever. Like I cannot tell you how many times we've shown up wearing the same
I'm
outfit.
about to say we got to see who to dress the flyest.
Yes,
Y'all did show
basically.
up to practice last week in almost the exact same outfit, like not coordinated.
But like that's how we would like it'd be like the same thing but just different.
Yeah,
Like very
each version.
Yeah, just but it would be the same thing. It happens so many times. It's like very uncomfortable.
It looks
like
plain.
11 couples
I was
dressed
gonna say it's kind of like twins.
Yeah, basically.
Kind of like twins.
Yeah. So, but I think it's actually you sent me I don't know if it was a memory or just a picture, but it was you, me, Leah, and Tommy, and it was when we were in Colorado for
Yeah,
Ninja
that was me.
Warrior.
Oh, that was
right?
so much, and we were all such babies.
And like to see our bodies,
The progress.
and our faces, and all that other stuff,
And the
right?
facial hair.
At that moment in time, I felt like I was in the best shape I had ever been in my life. I was stronger than I'd ever been before. I was maybe 35 or
Yeah.
so, if that. I don't even know if I was that old. Maybe
maybe.
like early 30s, 33
Yeah.
or so. And like
Yeah, like
Tommy's
34
face
maybe.
is round, right? She looks like
I was a baby.
right? And
was like 22.
Like we were we were in Colorado to do American Ninja Warrior, right? And we were
Season 5, baby.
Season 5 of American Ninja Warrior, and so we were gonna do it, and we were killing it, and we were like the kings of the gym. Like people wanted to be able to do the stuff we were doing, type situation, right? And like looking at us then, right, and now, like we are completely different athletes.
Totally different people, different athletes.
So much. I mean, forget just like maturity wise, but like yes, we look older. Okay, that's okay. That's what happens.
We
Y'all
look
were
better,
dads.
though.
Y'all weren't
I think
dads
we
at
look
that time.
better.
Huh?
Y'all weren't dads at that time either.
We weren't dads.
No, but I think
but,
we all look better.
But now we're stronger.
Yeah.
We look
We
stronger.
radiate differently, I
right?
think.
Y'all did age like fine wine, though.
We
I do
like.
give you
I
all
mean,
that.
it's
They
just
did.
like those people and the people now are completely not just different people, but different athletes as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
And like now compared to that person there, I could crush that guy, like literally, like without a problem, right? And I'm probably 15 pounds heavier than that guy was too. But just thinking about that and thinking about the progression, like traditionally from 33 to 44, 43, right? That's not what it looks like, right? So, like, and Tommy too, like specifically, man, I'm
Tommy has
so
come
proud
a
of this dude,
long
like where
way,
he's come
man.
from, even just the last couple years,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I think so often people miss out on with the whole, like, being a part of a good team and part of a good group is he has gotten better strictly because he and I train together, right? He has come to a whole nother level of fitness. And I'm honest, dude, there are times I struggle to keep up. I pretend like I'm not struggling, but there are times I'm struggling to keep up with this dude.
Yeah.
Right?
He's gotten fast.
He's just gotten so much stronger and so much faster or whatever. But even because of that, now I'm getting stronger and faster too because we're pushing each other now. We're next level. And people that we used to struggle to keep up with, people that we, and sometimes there's still that intimidation factor, but like we could smoke them, right?
Yeah.
And we have actually raced against them and like we were like, why are these people not beating us, right? So it's just a testament to, not just the training philosophy that we kind of prescribe to it, but it's just a philosophy that consistency is key. You don't have to kill yourself every single day. Make some goals, and above all, enjoy it.
Enjoy the people, enjoy
Right?
the process.
And if you can enjoy it, you'll keep coming back to it. You'll keep coming back to it, and you'll turn around, and it'll be 5 years or 10 years later, and you'll look at the picture of yourself. You're like, I can't believe I was that person. I can't believe that this is like who I've transitioned to. And it went fast, but it went fast over several years, right? So, I'm excited to see where we go from here, right?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously
me
we
too.
have this thing coming up, but I
really excited.
have a big goal. Like I have some goals, and I know I'm old, but like I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna make an Olympic team. If they make the OCR, if they are so close to making OCR an Olympic event, if they make it an Olympic event, I am going to make an Olympic team. I don't care if I'm 60. I'm going to make
I could see that
a
for you.
freaking Olympic team somehow, right? It may be the Masters Olympic team.
I see that for
but
you.
I'm going to, whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. And so I think it's things like that
Yeah.
that you have to aspire to. And they may be huge things that maybe for 4
But
or
you
5
have the
years.
passion for that.
But that's what I'm saying is you've got to find something that you can get passionate
Yeah,
about.
you've gotta
right?
have passion
And
for
the main
it.
reason I'm passionate about it is because I feel like it helps inspire other people
It does.
to get out of their comfort zone
Yeah.
and to think about what is impossible could be possible.
Well, and I think that, and also to the people you are working with, speaking from personal experience, you're healing a lot of people in much deeper ways than like helping somebody lose weight or helping somebody lift heavier.
Right.
There's so much healing that goes into like people's fears and their insecurities and all these things that they carry with them. And you're helping them to shed that
Right.
and to have a better quality of life.
Well, I mean, ultimately, this whole thing is a ministry. And, I know sometimes people get uncomfortable with it and people are like, oh, okay, it's great without all that stuff. But
Sorry, I'm not sorry.
the bottom
That's
line
not how the
is
song goes,
is
but
that
okay, I get
we're-
what you're trying to say.
it's not even close, bro.
That's not even kind of the song.
But the whole reason I believe that we're put on this earth is, to have relationship with God and with other people, right? And if you have those two things, like they're tied so closely together. And so you have to be willing to, and it's so contrary to culture, but you have to be willing to put other people first, right? You have to be willing to care about other people and love other people. And when you understand that, it's like, here's how it's diametrically different. In the culture today, it's like, you need to focus on yourself. You need to give for yourself. You need to like make sure you put yourself number one. If you don't put yourself number one, you won't have the energy to help other people, right? And, what I've learned, right, through the kingdom of God is that it's the exact opposite of that, is that you put other people, you love people, you serve people, you give to other people. And when you do that, the things that a lot of the stuff that you need, a lot of this it's given back to you, right? As you're pouring out into other people, it's come back to you tenfold, right? Even more so than that, right? So it's pressed down, shaken together, and rubs together, and so it's like overflowing. It's like if you get like a thing of sand, like a cup of sand, and you put sand in it, and you shake the sand, right? Then it kind of like settles, right?
It compacts.
And then you put more sand in it, and then you shake it again, you push it down, right? And so that's how it comes back to you. And so even though sometimes it's a sacrifice, even though sometimes it's really uncomfortable, and sometimes people piss you off and they ignore you or they annoy you, right? Especially when you're someone like me who gets annoyed very easily, right? Right? Even when that happens, right? And it teaches you that, you know what, it's not about me, right? It teaches you like so much about yourself, about, you know what, I'm giving these people a hard time. Maybe there's something I need to look at inside of me. Maybe there's something that I need to like prefer in that person. And so you grow and you mature, and so what happens is now you're building each other up and you're sharpening one another. And that's what I think is so good about sport. I think that's what's great about BC Fitness, is great about the running community, is that when you do that, you come together and you do so much more together than you ever could apart, right? And so I think that's where the healing comes from. And so I think that's where the whole change your mind, change your life thing comes from, is that like it starts, right, very small, but it can become something so big.
Preach. All right, you got to go, huh?
No.
You don't got to go? Nothing today?
5:30.
Oh, let's go.
I was saying. So we have Rocky's segment. We still got to do it. And I think he's on his phone preparing.
But are we going to let him do it?
I could take my segment.
What's your segment?
World of Wild with Lauren, with our special guest, Ernesto.
I don't think that wasn't approved.
No, it was not approved. You did not run that to the producer at all.
You didn't run that through anybody. Yeah. Look at her face. Like she's like, I'm taking over. No.
I was just hoping I'd slide in there.
She's got this flipping turtle that somebody pawned off on her, and she's just like dying inside to like show people. But she opens the box, and the box just looks gross.
So actually, it's a bee box.
I hope that thing poops on you.
It's a bee box, and when I walked in with it, they were panicking.
Look at this fool's face.
Earlier, she said it was
He
yawning.
did. He just pooped on her. I knew it was gonna happen.
It's water. I put him in a water.
No,
He
that
peed
was
on you.
poop,
That wasn't
dude.
water. It was
That
water.
Wipe it
turtle
this way.
pooped on you.
That's water.
Turtle poop.
He was.
That's your nickname from now on. TP.
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 No, so I have a bee client, and I was at his house checking on his bees. Long story, real quick. And he goes, "Do you want a
Too
turtle?"
late.
And I said, "No, I don't want a turtle." He's like, "Well, I got a turtle, and I don't know what to do with it." And it had just, from all the rain, had wandered into his yard, and had been there for like over a day, and he was freaking out. So I said, "Well, if you want me to, I'll relocate the turtle out of your
He's probably
yard."
a big fan of Ninja Turtles, and so he thought it like maybe would
He
turn into a ninja
was
killing.
legitimately
Throw
so
some-
scared of it.
Throw it in the sewer.
He would not go near it. He was pointing at it. I've never seen a grown man, no offense, buddy, but I've never seen a grown man so afraid of a turtle. When I picked it up, I kind of held it out to him like, "Look, it's just a turtle." He got so far away so fast, and he was like taking pictures like, "You're so brave." I'm like, "It's not a monster. It's a turtle."
Yeah.
But he was terrified. And now Ernesto's in a box. I'm going to take him to a new home.
Well, Ernesto, why are you holding your hand like that?
Because I just put water on it.
It looks like you've got poop on your hand.
It is not.
Don't freaking throw poop on my
It
carpet,
is not.
yo.
That was a fuzzy.
That was not a fuzzy handhold. That was a.
It's because it's got
That was I got
it's got
turtle poop on my hand.
It's
TP.
water. I put him in a water bath.
TP.
TP.
gosh.
TP.
It's a water bath.
TP.
Anyway,
All right.
that's the world of wild.
Are you
with
ready?
Lauren.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here's the deal. I want it made known. I'm verbalizing this to everyone. This is under protest. Okay?
You better
I'm doing
really
this for
impress
you
this.
people because I assume some of you like this, and I want to make sure we make all of our listeners happy and our viewers happy. So
change
we're
it
going to
up.
do Rocky's Rambles.
You better make it good so he approves
Let me
it.
change
Just
it up.
make sure you know it's under protest 'cause I'm still so angry about last week. Angry. Better be good.
You're on
And
thin ice.
ramble.
So I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go back to what I was going to say, but first I'm going to start off by saying this. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle.
Greater.
So when you change your mind, you can change your life.
Change it.
But we already talked about that a lot. I was going to talk about our sponsors for the day.
Oh, we've got sponsors.
We got a sponsor?
Oh, yeah, we got a sponsor.
Okay.
Sanctified Co. It's a Christian-based business that draws its name from the biblical meaning of being set apart for a specific purpose. The company's mission is to provide high-quality photos and events while upholding Christian values and principles. So if you need a 360 photo booth, you need just a regular iPad photo booth, audio guest book, give me a call. Sanctified Co.
Are you Sanctified Co?
Are you Sanctified Co?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, wait, we have a sponsor that we didn't know about? It's Rocky.
Yeah.
I feel like he doesn't know what a sponsor is.
Oh, my fault.
You're not giving us money.
I'm giving y'all this video that they're seeing right here.
Then ice. Strike.
That's why I went to the first thing first. I was like, let me go back.
Can I say, did you recycle what you said, though? Because I feel like you've said that verbatim on a podcast episode. I'm almost positive you have, actually.
I mean, he says change your mind, change your life every single week.
No, like that whole thing, though.
Being set apart?
Yeah. Have you said that before?
No. Sanctified?
Wow, bro. She just called you out, son.
I don't think I've talked about Sanctified yet.
No, not Sanctified. The whole bit you did before.
Oh, well, I have a whole list about my rambles. I plan my rambles in advance. The only way to do it is to do it. You know? That's what they say.
Do you just have a list of them and you just pick one?
I do have a list of rambles that I go through.
So it's very possible he's repeated it.
No, I'm almost positive about it. You did.
This is
But
like
you
the
know, it's
50th
still,
something episode.
It's true.
He probably accidentally didn't check it off the list.
It's still true. It still holds true.
It does.
So it's still good if you've
And
never
these
heard it
people-
before.
I apologize for everyone out there in the world. These people still have yet to learn the fine art of confidence. And if you say things confidently, people don't remember stuff. People don't. I mean, literally, I've given speeches before to the same people like 3 years later, and people are like, man, that was so good, because I didn't remember. You know, they say that you forget like 80% of everything you hear.
Only 80?
And then if you write it down, you might remember 5% more.
Yeah.
So nobody's gonna.
Only 80?
I don't even know.
I forget like 90.
I mean, 90% of all surveys are made up. So, I mean, let's be honest, right? I could just throw out numbers, and then people would be like, "Yeah, that sounds right."
You
but
said,
80-20
it
is real.
with such confidence. You must be
You got to
right.
say it with confidence, like you know what you're talking about, right? But the moment you sound like you're not sure, people are like, "Oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about." But this lady, oh, she's crazy. Yeah, she's
That's so funny.
freaking TP.
TP.
Right?
That could also be like toilet paper.
And that's the reason we're using it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I've got
Little
so many
runs.
nicknames. I like Tweak
Has
better.
double meetings. Tweak has double meetings.
I like Tweak better.
What was the other one? What was the really
TP.
good one?
Laryngitis.
Laryngitis.
I wanted somebody
When
to
you're
say
in
that
the
other than me,
pool
so.
and you feel something cool. Laryngitis. Laryngitis.
No, that's the runs.
Oh.
No, that was laryngitis.
No, laryngitis is a different thing.
Oh, yeah. When you're running late, you're not feeling so great. Laryngitis.
There it is.
Laryngitis.
Yep.
When you got
mean-
a cough for like 2 whole months. Laryngitis.
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 I mean, I guess I should feel flattered. I'm the only one on this podcast who has, well, no, I was going to say a theme song, but you have the official theme song.
Yeah.
But I do have a theme song. So I
If you
guess
want to
it's
be
something-
a runner, you got to
gotta get with
contact
the
James.
Don't say.
PRs are forever.
Oh.
Your life's gonna change.
Dang! This fool just wrote a new jingle.
Snaps.
We might have to get.
We might take that to the record recording.
No, we might have to
studio.
ask first because that song's real. The sound of that song.
melody is very
The melody is
specific.
very similar. We might get sued.
It's a cover.
Don't come for us, Spice Girls.
Yeah.
I was a huge
They're
fan of
trying.
yours.
They're making a comeback. So
I
they're.
was a huge fan of yours all growing up.
Were you a Sporty Spice?
Who would
fan?
you say you associated with most?
I thought Posh Spice was the coolest, but I probably associated more with Baby Spice because I was like the little baby in the family.
Yeah, I didn't get that whole Baby Spice thing.
She was just cutesy. That was the whole point.
Was she the one that was kind of chubby?
I
There
mean,
were
she
two that
had-
were kind of round.
They
weren't
her
round,
and
but, like,
Ginger.
they had, like-
Her and Ginger, they had like the baby faces.
I thought they were the best looking ones, honestly.
they were, yeah. I mean, Vitamin C was always real pretty.
I don't know who Vitamin C is. That's a name of
Oh
one
no,
of those-
Scary Spice. So Vitamin C. No, not Vitamin C. I'm sorry. Sporty Spice ended up doing her own label, Melanie D. Vitamin C.
Sporty
is something
Spice was the
different.
black girl?
No, that was Melanie.
Or no, it was Angry Spice. I don't remember. No, it was one.
It was
Scary Spice. That's her, not Angry Spice.
Angry
It's like
Spice.
I just
Dopey
basically
and
made her a
Dopey
freaking
and Sneezy.
dwarf. Made her one of the 7 dwarves. Oh my God. But I mean, basically, I think that's the theme they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, maybe we'll see them while we're there.
I doubt it, but that'd be fantastic.
If we do,
I would. I'm
we're
gonna.
gonna bust it. Hey,
Oh.
we're gonna ask them if we can use the cover.
I'm
their cover.
fangirling out so hard.
Yeah,
Tell them
you're
that
probably-
RockDog made up a new jam.
No, we're not gonna use that.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for coming in today. We are done. We are going to be off next week. So-
International.
because we'll be gone.
Unless
right?
you want a solo episode with just me in it.
No.
Yeah,
Not gonna happen.
Nobody wants else. It would be like
It would
10
be like
minutes.
silence
it'd be
for
a
most
5-minute
of it.
ramble, and then it would just stop. Just not even. You wouldn't even do a sign off. It
I
would
don't
just
know what
like
to do with my
end.
hand.
I don't know what's
know what
going
to do
on
with
here.
my
So we'll be off next week, guys. But we'll be back at it at the beginning of the month. So thank you so much for listening. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. And then obviously follow us on our podcast, rate it if you would like. And then we always like to know, especially if you're watching it on YouTube, we always want comments, right? We want to know, like, what are some things, maybe what are some challenges that you've had? Like, so today we've been talking about, like, how do you prepare for an out-of-town race? How do you really travel properly? So what are some things maybe you're struggling with, or maybe some questions you've had? Or if maybe you have a question about a previous podcast that we've had, or something you want us to address.
We can dig deeper.
You can always put that in the comments. I promise you we'll answer, and we'll do our best to get to you as soon as we possibly can. So, but definitely follow us on Instagram as well. You can follow us on Running with James, also at MyBCFit. You can also follow Lauren at the Backyard Bohemian. And then you can follow Rocky as well at RockyG713. You haven't changed that, right?
No.
Same thing, right? So slide into his DMs and you won't get a response. So other than that, am I missing anything?
I don't think so. James, best of luck in
I don't
HYROX.
believe in luck.
Well, you don't
I don't
need
wish
it.
luck to anybody because
Okay, well, you're going to kill it.
Bless.
we are going to do our best.
You are going to do amazing.
We're not going to try our best.
You're going to do your best.
Do our best.
Do or do not, there is no try.
There is no try.
Shout out Yoda.
Shout out to Yoda,
Right.
the OG master.
Best coach there ever was.
Yep.
Most of my training philosophy comes from Master Yoda, actually.
Solid.
And that's why sometimes people don't understand me when I'm talking, because I talk like Yoda sometimes, and it just doesn't make any sense. And they're like, huh? Whatever.
Those that know, they know.
They know.
That's all that matters.
Anyway, thanks for coming in, dear guys.
Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon. Also, make sure you're checking out BC Fitness Instagram page at MyBCFit, because I will be posting and doing all of our stories while we are in Manchester, and I will be making sure you know when to follow along for the live
And what day is that
broadcast.
race, Lauren?
Saturday the 27th.
May 27th. There it is.
In English time or in U.S. time?
What?
Really, dude?
Sorry.
Stop.
You're
so
We
dumb
don't want them to
sometimes.
hate us before we get there.
So it's May 27th. Our time will be in the evening, but for you, it'll be around noon time. So we'll give you the exact time so that you know.
Oh, a PM race. That's nice.
Yeah, that's going to be weird. But it
Yeah.
won't be actually so weird because it'll feel like
noon. Your
Right.
training hour.
our training hours when we get our hardest session in. So we'll see.
All right. Well, don't forget,
When you change your mind.
you change your life.
Peace out.
Bye.